This one here is a 2019 Ram 1500. Had a 5.7 Hemi. Would not crank over, so no start, no crank. Plugged into it. We had to manually type in the VIN number, which indicates that he got some communication issues or vehicle's not powering up. We opened the door. There was no keyless go ignition button activity. Didn't light up at all. If the radio frequency hub was operational, what would happen is you have your key fob in your pocket, you unlock the vehicle, or you just open the door if it's not locked. Your dome light comes on, your instrument cluster should come on, and your ignition keyless go button should light up, and it should say off. If you try and press it with your foot on the brake and then turn to run or start up, it wasn't doing any of that. But the cluster was lighting up, the interior lights were lighting up. Go from there, we look on the topology and we see that the radio frequency hub was not turning on. When you basically plug in, even without the ignition on, you should always have your body control module come on and your radio frequency hub should come on. If you don't have those two come on before you turn the ignition on, well, the radio frequency hub is what collects the radio signal from your key fob. It goes and it is going to detect basically if it's the right fob or not, and that detection for that part of it is going to happen between the RFH and the keyless ignition node receiver. But a majority of it's going to happen inside the RFH, and you also have antennas that detect where the key is exactly. So you can have different things occurring or not occurring based off where the key is at. But in this situation, we know that we have an issue. We need to focus on the RFH. You see it up there. It's in red on the topology. That's not okay. So we pursue it. It's hard to get to. It's behind the back seats. First thing we look for is any signs of water getting in that area, which there was signs of water. The customer didn't say anything about it. We didn't water leak test it, but the back glass on these is cracking left and right on this model, and water is getting in from car washes. If you have rain where you live or snow, it's getting in that way. California is mostly a drought, but people like to wash their cars once a week, so that water gets in there, goes in the backseat area. They don't even know that their ignition module called the RFH is in the back there. Once that stops working, your vehicle is not going to power up. It might even shut down while you're driving. So we took that all apart. We opened up the radio frequency hub module, and we ended up seeing heavy corrosion inside that module on the transceiver chip. That's a CAN transceiver chip inside the RFH module on the printed circuit board. That's what it should look like, nice and clean under a microscope. This one is actually heavily corroded, and there's some more corrosion. But yeah, going back to this diagram I made. So the way Chrysler likes to do it, their modules don't usually have ignition anymore. They just have constant power, constant ground, the CAN communication wires, and what actually powers up and turns a module on is accomplished through the CAN communication high and low wires. So there is no ignition in this situation. And the reason it wasn't powering up is because that heavily corroded chip on the circuit board was this 8-prong transceiver chip called the CAN transceiver chip. So that was clearly not allowing the entire module to wake up. If it's not waking up, it's not going to power up and start the vehicle. Pretty important part of the car. So just wanted to show you guys that. Have a good day.